All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another beautiful Sunday afternoon, and you know what time it is? It's time for another chapter of One Piece. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more One Piece. Ladies and gentlemen, the last chapter we got was called the God Valley Incident. And it ends with all of the Holy Knights coming together. All of the Rock's pirates coming together. All of the Roger pirates coming together. Garp showing up as well. So now the question is the next chapter about to see more and more of the God Valley incident, or are we going to shift to a different location? Who can say, because I haven't seen the chapter yet. Let's see what happens in chapter 1161 in what I describe as one of the best flashbacks of One Piece. And we have here, we have here what we hold in our hearts is ours forever. One Piece, based on a request, Luffy and Usopp catching a Chopper plushie at a crane game. And it shows the Straw Hats basically pulling plushies out of a crane game. And Chopper's trapped inside. But a lot of these plushies are pretty much based off of people who are close to the Straw Hat crew and affiliates as well. So in Sanji's arms, we have, who is that? We got Lilith, we've got Perona, we got Hiyori. We basically got all women in Sanji's arms. With Zoro, he has like a very large plushie of Shirahoshi and also a plushie of Mihawk. Luffy has have one of, what is it? Gaiman? Yeah, Gaiman in his teeth. He has one of Shanks, Sabo, Dadan, Garp, Rayleigh, Whitebeard, Ace. And he has Momonosuke in his pocket. We got one of Boa Hancock falling off from him as well. You see a whole... Basically, Too Long didn't read. All of the Straw Hats are handling plushies of people who are close to them. Nami has one of Belmare and Nojiko. I see one of Vivi and Genzo. And then Robin is the only one who's looking kind of worried because Chopper is trapped inside of this crane game as well, confused for a plushie. And Brooke is also in there as well, trying to grab onto Chopper as well, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, and Jinbei's sleep. Okay, I know this was a long description, but there's a lot going on in this double color spread panel for this. There's a lot going on here. But chapter 1161, A Song of Love Bound Under a Hail of Arrows. I think this is we haven't had a title this long in many years. We haven't had titles this long in many years. Chapter 1161, A Song of Love Bound Under a Hail of Arrows. Ogre Child, Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 43, Where the Heroes Sleep. And here we have the names of everyone who lost their lives for the sake of Wano. And if I zoom in here, we got a whole bunch of names. We got Shimotsuki Yasuie, one of the greatest dads of One Piece. We have Kozuki Toki. We have Uzuki Tenpora. We have Izo. We have Mar. We have Fugetsu Omusubi. We have Shimotsuki Ushimaru. We have Otaka, not to be confused with Otama or Otoko or Toko. We have a name of Kurozumi. So I don't know if they're honoring the name of Kurozumi Kanjuro. I don't see how they would do that. But we have Ashura Doji, and then we have other names that are kind of obscured by Petals and obscured by Yamato. But Yamato is here along with Momonosuke and Kinemon. Interesting that a Kurozumi name would be here. Because given the fact that Kanjuro was a traitor, I don't know why his name would be here. So is there a Kurozumi who was actually good enough to be honored alongside? And also, Kozuki Oden has the biggest lantern in this section here, but is there a Kurozumi that would be amongst all of these great good people? That's kind of interesting that a Kurozumi name would be there. But that's just me. Many figures converged on the island, bearing their individual goals and desires, turning God Valley into an inescapable battlefield of nightmares. And then we have the Celestial Dragons who are all being caught up in this, because remember, the national hunting competition is still ongoing. Please, my lord, leave the island through the evacuation tunnel. Not yet! I wanted that prize! We'll be responsible for bringing it with us. Responsible? You'll be held responsible for depriving us of a good time, you bungling fools! And then we have the people who are being hunted going, maybe this is our big chance. Let's use the chaos to find us a boat. And then we get Roger. Where's Sharky? She better be unharmed. And then we get Rox. We get the name of Blackbeard's mother. Oh my goodness, we get his name. We get her name. We get Blackbeard's mother's name. Because Rox says, Eris, Teach, where are you? And Rox is only focused on finding his wife and son. Blackbeard's mom's name is Eris. Eris, Teach, where are you? And then we get Garp going, where are you, Roger? And we get Dragon, who has decided to run off with both Shanks and Shamrock. Just hang in there a little longer. Which way are the Navy ships? Pirates, this is the wrong way. And then someone's running up behind him, which happens to be one of the Holy Knights, the tall woman. The tall woman running up behind him, and she's going, found him. It's a sailor carrying a baby. And this woman shoots a beam out of her mouth that pierces through Dragon. I don't know if this is the devil fruit power or something else, but she just opens her mouth and a beam fires through and it goes straight through Dragon's shoulder, like through this part of his shoulder. Ah! There, got him. And who is this? You saved my life, Mafi. Mafi! Her name is Mafi. You saved my life, Mafi. Garling was going to kill me, I'm sure. And Dragon falls down as one of the children falls out of his grasp. Mind you. Oh no, both of them. I think both of the kids fall. No, she manages to get her hands on one child. And either Shanks or Shamrock is crying. Holy Knights of God, Satchel's family, Saint Mafe. I'm going to say Mafe and not Mafi. Saint Mafe, and this is the tall woman. Very, very tall. She's got like a whole Cruella de Vil type vibe going on here. She also has horns coming out of her head. Can't tell if that's part of a headdress or is that something that's unique to her. Garling has a kid? Who'd have thunk it? Can't imagine who'd want to kidnap the brat. And then it cuts to Dragon. No, wait. Don't take those babies. They're the only way I can atone for being a part of this sick, murderous game. So long, young man. And then Mafe is preparing to kill Dragon. Well, considering all the people who have died, I guess I deserve this too. Out of the way! And all of a sudden, Mafe gets hit with a massive slice that parts every single one of the trees and also cuts her in half. It's unknown if she has immortality as well, but her entire upper torso just gets separated from this slice, and it's both Whitebeard and Big Mom. No, I wasn't aiming for you. That was an enemy I cut down. How many pirate crews are on this island by now? Liar! I almost died there. Do we need to settle our score? Now's the time. And then Dragon is hiding from both Big Mom and Newgate. Whoa, who are these enormous pirates? And then Shiki comes in. Hey, Newgate, were ya trying to kill me, you rat?
Shiki. Hey, Linlin, you lied to me.
Kaido?
It's the Rocks Pirates! Take them down and we'll be famous! And then it cuts to other pirates who are around as well.
What?
Hold on, do they think they deserve to win Shaki too? And then it shows Big Mom, Kaido, Newgate, and Shiki just cutting down these other pirates who are trying to muscle in on their territory as well.
Go back home and get in bed, you miserable weaklings.
And they just get swatted away like they're literally nothing. The combined might of Prime Newgate, Prime Big Mom, young Kaido, and young Shiki just cutting these jokers down. And there's just an explosion that sends all of these guys flying. And then Mafe's looking, going,
What's happening to this island anyway?
And she's still holding one of the kids.
Now I've got an opening to escape, but she's got the babies.
And then he's coughing and he notices something under him and he realizes that she didn't get both of the babies.
Huh?
And it shows one child is the other child, more than likely Shanks, is knocked out underneath him. He's got like a big knot on his head, but he's kind of out of it.
Huh?
And then there's an explosion in the distance as it shows Garp.
I sense a big catch up ahead. Found myself a first-class fishing spot.
And he immediately uses what appears to be like Galaxy Impact. It looks like he uses Galaxy Impact, and Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido are all running from Garp.
Now come quietly, you Neptunians.
It's Garp! Run or we'll be stuck here forever!
Aren't we gonna fight him?
No, forget it! Zeus! Prometheus!
Hi, Mama. And they just take off. They're all running. They don't want the Garp smoke. Let this sink in. Garp was such a major threat back then that even Whitebeard with the Goda no Mi, Big Mom with the Soru no Mi, and Kaido, who doesn't currently have the Uo no Mi at this time, they all saw Garp and says like, no, we don't want none of Garp. And they just started running. And then Dragon is looking,
Dad?
And then Big Mom gets Prometheus and goes, gets Prometheus and Zeus and goes,
Heavenly Fire Blitz!
And she unleashes the combination attack of Zeus and Prometheus together. And it looks like Big Mom hits Garp full force, like point blank with this Heavenly Fire Blitz. It's Fights Admiral Garp! And the other pirates are seeing them. And there's an explosion in the distance behind these pirates who are also here. And then we have Ivankov and Kuma going, who did that? What was it? Anyway, this is our big chance, Kuma. Yeah. And then Garp tanked the whole thing. He stood there and took it because he's standing there. Conquerors, and mind you, he's using Conquerors with this. Conquerors hockey just emanating from him as he goes,
You call that fire, Lin? You couldn't cook prime ribs with this.
And he's smiling, eyes glowing. This man just took a massive electrical fire to the body and face and says, that's all you got? He stood there and took it. No, son, Garp is on some different medication on this morning.
You call that fire, Lin? You couldn't cook prime rib with this.
And Big Mom is scared and she runs.
Oh, darn it!
And then we get Mafe going,
well, the kidnapper's gotta be dead now. Baby's safe and sound, too. Is that good?
Baby's safe and sound? Perfect. Come back before Garling finds out.
I can't tell who is on the other side saying all of this. But Dragon has Shanks.
I'm so sorry. I might not be able to rescue your brother, but at least I've got you.
and he's wheezing and huffing and puffing, but he's got Shanks. And then we get Manfrey, Manfrey family. What is it? The Manmeyer. We got the one member of the Manmeyers with her big old hat as she's going,
You thought you could take advantage of the confusion to escape? No one gets out alive, resident or pirate.
and she just opens fire on everyone, pirates and the civilians who are still there. And then someone comes in.
Reporting in, sir. The Rocks pirates are coming from the south, east of the valley. The Roger pirates are inbound from the northwest. We're about to be stuck between the two.
Because it shows that Roger and Rocks are about to convene exactly where these Navy soldiers are, while the Celestial Dragons are trying to get out.
We're taking Shocky back.
That's Roger!
Defend this spot with your life. The treasure hasn't been hauled out yet. The Rocks pirates are coming from the other direction.
And it shows Captain John, it shows Ganjui, it shows Gloriosa, Silveraxe, it shows all the other, and it looks like Shiki because Silveraxe's, Keo is just shoving his face going,
I'll save her first.
No, me, get off!
We're here to rescue you, Shocky.
So the rest of the Rocks pirates have made it there. And then we get Somers, that looks like Somers, going,
Put a stop to them. You made sure to escort Shakuyaku out, right?
Saint Somers! Well,
what?
And it cuts to Somers walking into Shaki's holding cell, and every single Navy soldier that tried to take her is either embedded in the wall or unconscious on the ground. Saint Somers!
You're kidding me. You can't handle one woman in handcuffs?
And then Shaki speaks up.
It sounds like there are lots of pirates causing trouble out there.
And then Somers speaks up again and goes,
I hate a woman who knows her own worth. You're better when you're naive.
And proceeds to smack Shaki in her face. And she wobbles. And then while she's wobbling, she spins around and kicks Somers directly in his side.
Yeah.
Then he grabs Shaki's leg. And she looks in shock because Somers takes his club and proceeds to bludgeon Shaki's leg that he's holding. And she falls to the ground in pain. Somers has committed the gravest of sins. You better hope Rayleigh doesn't find out. Somers just injured Shaki. Her leg is bleeding now.
That's right. All those pirates are here to steal you back. You're in high demand. So high that it's ruined our big day. But you're alive. You're only going to wind up with Garling, so the more emotional choice is to kill you to make sure no one can have you.
And Somers continues.
They've come from far and wide to rescue you, but when they finally get here, battered and bruised, they'll find their beloved brutally slaughtered. I wonder how they'll react to that.
And it shows members of the Rocks Pirates just ransacking everywhere. It shows Roger as he's clashing with Whitebeard. But this clash is powerful enough to launch people backwards because both Whitebeard and Roger can use conquerors. Shocky, I'm here for you! And then we get Shiki going, Are you okay, Shocky? I'm coming to save you now! And then all these other pirates are going, Look, it's me! Here I am!
Darn it, I can't get through! You've got Jockey! You gotta get Shocky!
And who is he talking to? Is that Roger? Who is that? Is that Rayleigh? 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 Oh, is that Rayleigh? Is that Rayleigh? Is that Rayleigh? Oh, is that Rayleigh?
Darn it, I can't get through! You gotta get Chucky!
And then someone just hops up quickly while Shaki's looking at Summers.
Can you hear that? They're right behind us, but they'll be just a second too late.
St. Summers, I don't think St. Garland would approve of...
Shut up! If you don't say anything, it goes in the books as an accident. Just look at her face. The light of hope has finally gone out. This ain't no fairy tale. If anyone comes to save her, I'll kill him. Reality is cruel.
And he raises his club to kill Shaki.
I'll kill you in 5 blows, and with each bloody smash, you'd better regret the pea-saddled optimism that led you here.
And then Shaki is closing her eyes, reserving herself to her fate until Summers senses something.
Huh? I'll put the flowers on your grave to send you off.
And it's Rayleigh behind him. And Summers looks back in horror as Rayleigh uses a named move.
Spider Lily Steel!
And he hits Summers so hard, his body imprints into the wall with a...
Shaki. Sorry I took so long. I've come to get you.
And it's Rayleigh holding his hand out. Holding his hand out for Shaki. This solidified their relationship right here. And as these explosions are happening all over God Valley, Shaki is just tearing up and crying. And she goes, "Hooray, you took too long!" And she just falls into his arms.
I'm sorry you had to go through this.
And Rayleigh is crying too. He's crying too. I was so scared.
Never again.
Oh! Okay, all right. Tale as old as time. Like, this is such a sentimental moment with Rayleigh and Shaki right now. And then Roger's all like, "Can you do this later, darn it?" And mind you, he's saying this, but he's crying too, along with Gavin.
We've got Shaki back, boys. Now take some treasure and let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah! And that's the end of the chapter. Rayleigh. To be continued, and we're not going on break. Rayleigh! Oh my goodness! This was a good chapter. Woo! Okay! Ooh, look at all the people here in chat. All right, I see you, Cohagen. I see you, Ravi. I see you, CDs. I see you, Juke. I see you, Ozzy. I see you, Zakaruga. I see you, Holster. I'm seeing everybody up in here. I see Axel. Yo, what is good? Whew. Yeah, this was a good chapter. Also good to see you, Subject, as well. All right, so let me see what you guys have said so far. Let's see, something's wrong with Manga Plus. Greeting fellow peoples. Have problems with Manga Plus, or maybe Mordia. Eris. Ennis. It said Eris. Just in time, reading along with you, bro. I needed some voice acting. Maybe Teach. Mother's surname was Marshall D. Eris. Marshall D. Eris. Marshall D. Teach. And all these mods here. Qushu should re-chat again. He'll never get spoiled with how thick y'all are in here. Maybe, but I don't flip-flop. Because I could have chat off to the side on my phone to see what you guys are saying while I'm reading. But, it's a bit of a habit for me now. It'll be hard to break. Mafi looking familiar. I just can't point my finger on it. Is Mafi the former Glint user? I don't know. We can't necessarily say that she's the holder of the Glint fruit, because we don't even know what that is fully. If she were to get hit by an attack and turn into light, then that would bring into question just how she managed to die in order for the glint fruit to go back into circulation. So that's too many things here, because when you think about it, is this around the time when the God Knights, the Holy Knights were still, the Holy Knights were still, were they immortal during this time already? Or this wasn't a thing until much later on? There's too many questions here concerning Mafe, so we'll have to see. Baby Shanks got the Goku treatment. Seriously. Probably had that whole Celestial Dragon brainwashing knocked out of his head after falling because of Mafe. It's crazy how 3 of Rox's crew were Yonko's and not Roger's crew. Would you say Rox's crew has the upper hand? I wouldn't say they have the upper hand. It's just that the Roger pirates weren't exactly the type of people to want to rule over the seas. They were pretty much content. They were pretty much content with what they were doing. So I wouldn't say that they didn't have this, because it's not like they didn't have the strength. Gavin and Rayleigh, even in their advanced age, are still supremely powerful, that it really requires the presence of an admiral for it to feel like it could be a possible even fight. But I don't think being Yonkos or rulers over the sea was anything the Roger Pirates ever had in mind. They were just chilling. If you ever looked at their exploits, they were just people who were chilling. So put some respect on Garth's name. They don't want that smoke. Exactly. They do not want that smoke at all. For the people in the back, Sengoku saved Akainu's behind. He really did. Ogata as well. Sorry I didn't mention you. Sorry about that. Yoda's Captain John have kids fruit? He has a metal arm. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a part of him using the, what is it? Jagi? Was it the Jagi no Mi? I'm trying to remember the exact name of his devil fruit. Let's see. Yes, let's betray a 10-foot-tall earthquake man, 10-foot-tall soul eater single mom, and Kaido. What could go wrong? You just wait until Ray finds out. Bro, flashback is wild, seeing all these strong factions from the past in one island makes you wonder if there is a foreshadowing maybe in the present we are going to have a similar event very soon. I know we are. There is no way that every major person in One Piece isn't going to have some sort of effect on the final battle that decides the fate of the world of One Piece. Because remember, the world is sinking. Whoever finds the One Piece will determine the fate of the world. So there is going to be a convening of powerful people into one place, and it will essentially be, it'll be what we're witnessing here. We all thought that the craziness that's happening in Elbaf would make Marineford look small. But honestly, I feel like the final battle area we get, and all the big names are out there, I honestly feel is going to make even Elbaf look small. Because that mural paints a picture of almost every major faction going up against a literal dark god of some kind. Possibly, more than likely, Emu. And it's the mermen. It's the fishermen folk. It's the giants. It's the Tontaras. It's the Lunarians. It's the Skypeans. Every single race is going to be going up against the very individuals that put them down. So yeah, it's eventually going to lead to such a place. Somers is a scumbag, and it was at that moment Somers realizes he done messed up. Right, They're going to animate the crap out of Ray's entrance. Oh, they are. Love it. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving scumbag child murderer. Somers lost to both the left and the right hand. Ain't that crazy? He lost to both the people left and right of Roger. He lost to Ray the first time. And him losing to Ray solidified Ray as him. Because he personally went there to go rescue Shaki. And mind you, Shaki has been wanting Ray for a while. So for Ray to come in and save her. Nah, this is where she solidified that this is the man I'm marrying. Sorry, Roger, but this is it. And mind you, she already wanted Rayleigh. She already wanted him. But she said, oh no, now I got to be his wife now after this. So, and then it shows that even though Rayleigh made it seem like he wasn't all that interested. He went out of he let his real feelings show because he was teary-eyed because he was worried about Shaki as well. Sorry I took so long. And she said, I was so scared, and he said, never again. And since then, Shaki has never had any fear on her when she's encountered so many different people, including all the supernovas and basically anyone else she's encountered. She has never been worried since because she has Ray. Ray really is that dude. So I'm happy. This was such a, I didn't think I would get a sentimental moment in this chapter. Ray and Shaki, I didn't think we were going to get that. Jiki Jiki. Jiki Jiki, not Joggy Joggy. Joggy is what Luffy calls Kid in Japanese. Sorry. Yeah, but it's the Jiki Jiki no Mi. Let me see what else you guys have said. So Roger took the L in the broken heart. Yeah, he understood. Rayleigh was a star of the show. He was. It was Will and Elizabeth marry each other in the middle of battle in Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Yeah, that was them. Barbossa, will you marry us? Roger is crying, saying, "That's my pie!" Revenge of the Nerds. Interestingly, if the Celestial Dragons still organize these human hunting festivals every 3 years after God Valley, then one of the next festivals will fall into 20 years ago, the year Nami was born, and Oikot was destroyed. And one happened right on the year Luffy left Fusa Village, which explained why they didn't appear and hunt down Luffy sooner. They were busy massacring some other country. Wouldn't it be wild if the country that was destroyed, that was Nami's home, was the result of a Celestial Dragon national hunting competition? That'd be messed up. Plus, the Rock's pirates are in it for themselves. Exactly. Let's see, Jiki Jiki no Mi. And the kicker is the battle at God Valley is far from over, and I'm sure Oda's going to wrap this up in a nice bow. I'm going to lose my mind if the final battle happens over a girl. I don't think so. Because Rox is there for his wife and son. He's there for his wife and son. Roger said, like, we already got Shaki, let's go ahead and pull out. But with Roger saying it's time to go, there is going to be a meetup between both him and Rox. Something is going to happen. Something is going to happen that will cause Roger to team up with Garp in order to take down the rest of the Rox pirates. Because Rox is only there for his wife and son. I honestly believe, and I just want to say this, I honestly think something is going to happen to his wife. Something bad is about to happen to his wife. Teach will be fine. He'll get away somehow. But something is going to happen to his wife that may set Rox off. I just feel that in my spirit. I feel like something is going to happen to Eris. Marshall D. Eris. I feel like something is going to happen to her, and Rox is just going to go ballistic. And it's going to require both Roger and Garp to take him down completely. And he'll probably, and I'm going to call it, because we don't have a break. I'm going to call it right here. Don't worry, we'll talk about this again on, what is it, Tuesday? Tuesday, because we got a reflection stream. But let me say this. I honestly feel something bad is going to happen to his wife, and I'm normally not a doomsayer. I'm normally not a doomsayer when it comes to things that are about to happen within a series or anything like that. I honestly feel that something tragic may happen to Rox that is just going to set him off, and the only way he can be stopped is if both Roger and Garp kill him. It'll be something that has to do with the Celestial Dragons. He'll want to murder all of them, and then it's going to take Roger and Garp. Something bad is about to happen. And you say Garling will probably be the one to light that match. I would not be surprised if Garling is that fire that lights Rox's fuse that causes him to go berserk. Because he's already out of losing Shaki. If Rox's wife is attractive, he may look to trying to take her, and that will probably complicate things. I'm just saying. Let me see. Also, DJ, good to see you as well. Let's see. And in case you haven't realized it yet, Mihawk is 4 years older than Shanks. Rayleigh and Shaki weren't even a couple until after God Valley. Rayleigh and Shaki are not Mihawk's parents. I don't know who's coming up with these ideas that Rayleigh and Shocky are the parents of Mihawk. Seems a bit odd. Let me see what else you guys have said. Let's see. And the kicker is about... Okay, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh, Vivi. Gonna lose my mind that the final battle happens over a girl. Literally the finale of Alabasta. The last Buccaneer. Lily is the reason for the Void Century. Spent 100 years looking for her. Since God Valley is no longer there, it'll probably get the Lelusia treatment at the end. Rayleigh and Shocky, okay. Yeah, D-Train, good to see you. And in case you, also, we have to remember that Whitebeard and Garling still need to clash. Because of Whitebeard saying to Shanks, that scar, the scars of yours reminds me of him. That scar of yours reminds me of him. Whitebeard said that to Shanks. Was this when they were talking to each other? Huh. So maybe he does leave a lasting scar on Garling. And maybe it's a scar that doesn't go away once he gets immortality like the rest of the God Knights. But we still don't know how that works and if it's for every single member or whatever. We still don't know. I understand where you're coming from. I'm surprised Ida has even survived as long as she has. Wasn't Mihawk at Roger's execution? Yes, he was. Let's see, and he was a teenager. Yeah, he was a teenager. Garling may still also corner the Roger Pirates because they got Shocky. Gavin may clash with Somers to give some time, or Rayleigh and Shocky to get away. Well, Rayleigh just unleashed Spider Lily Steel. So who knows if it's lasting. But all the same, we don't know just how powerful this move was. But also, it just solidifies how much I actually... You mean every time I look at you, the scars that guy gave me tingles? Oh wait, not scars of yours. When I see you, my scars ache. Oh, I think Shanks was referring to Whitebeard. Blackbeard. Not Whitebeard, but Blackbeard. Because whenever he sees Teach, he just remembers the scar that he gave him across his face. I'd imagine it was the same way when Kenpachi says, like, this scar I got from you still aches ever since you gave it to me. Feels like this flashback is far from over, like this is all supposed to connect to Loki being framed. This feels like a whole arc in itself. Roger and Whitebeard clash, but their swords was touching. I still think they need to get stronger, maybe in this God Valley. That was Whitebeard's line. Okay. I gotcha. But yeah, both Whitebeard and Roger were clashing, but they were touching, but at the same time, their Conqueror's clash was sending people flying in opposite directions from them. So while they're powerful with the application of hockey at this time, it doesn't get to the point where they clash with each other for the last time back on that unnamed island, and they just basically implode the entire island from the force of their hockey. So their hockey isn't even at their peak here. But he is clashing with Whitebeard. That's still amazing to me. All right, so since we're at the end of this chapter, you know how we do things. Whitebeard said that to Shanks. That was Whitebeard's line. Gotcha. I got you. Don't worry, I got it. More than enough people trying to correct me in chat. So it's all good. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna pull up the chapter. If Garling isn't the one to scar Whitebeard, it's garbage writing. I wouldn't say that. But it would make more sense if it does happen, though, but we'll have to see. It'd be foolish to try and make those sort of assumptions right there. Let's see, 434, I think. 434, let me see. Which one is that? All right, it's not that one, too far. Okay, 434, all right. We're almost there. Volume 45. Yeah. Chapter 434, Whitebeard and Red Hair. Whitebeard and red hair. All right, so that's the 4th chapter. .434, 433. And 434, Whitebeard and red hair. So this is when Shanks first shows up. Far from garbage, otherwise Newgate wouldn't have made that statement to Shanks. You know people, they like to say a lot of stuff. Let's see here. Shanks gets on the Whitebeard ship, knocking people out with his conquerors. And here it says, Shanks says, "You'll have to excuse me. I have trouble staying relaxed when I'm on an enemy ship. I've brought medicinal water with me. I'm not here to fight. There is something we must talk about." And he's right here in front of Whitebeard, who says, "When I look at your face, it makes my scars ache. The scars I got from him. And yet you bear your hockey power without constraint. You fool." So many of us thought that he was referring to Roger. Yeah, we thought he was referring to Roger back then. But then again, it's never been explained where Whitebeard got the scars on his body. He didn't get any on his back, but he's got scars on his front. We don't know where he got them. Now, with this statement and us finding out about Garling and finding out how he shanks his father and everything, it stands to reason that if him is Roger, it's garbage writing, like you said. You can say a lot of things. Doesn't mean you're right, though. So, if it means that Garling was the one that left scars on him, then I can see there being more people drawn to Shanks because of that connection. Did Whitebeard have the scars during Odin's flashback? We didn't really see his chest all that often because he always wore a shirt. Yeah, we didn't really see his chest all that often. So it's kind of tricky to tell. Let's see, this Loki flashback might end with Shanks capturing Loki at seas, Loki being helped up on Elbaf. Garp is really the nightmare of the pirates, and the biggest reason is because he's just a vice admiral. If he's an admiral, he's not always going out to sea and chasing the pirates freely. Well, we already know the reason why he doesn't want to be an admiral. He doesn't want to be an admiral because then that means he'll be under direct control of the Celestial Dragons, and he wants to be free. But seeing him as a vice admiral, he's got the strength of an admiral, if not more so. And this dude tanked a full-on heavenly fire blitz from Big Mom and then says, "Is that all you have?" Mind you, he was engulfed in an explosion that dwarfed him in size. And he was all like, "Is that it? Is that all you got?" It's literally that. Dragon seems to always, seems like always the highlight in this flashback. He does appear. Now, let's look up the chapter synopsis, and y'all know I always read it. I'll say what I need to say, and then we will move on to the next thing. Of course, I may wait until my food gets here so I can eat that food, then we'll read Sakamoto Days, then I'll do my One Piece anime reaction afterwards. All right, let me see. Chapter 1161, because y'all know I love to read long summaries. Ooh, and this was a kind of long, too. Let me put this in landscape so that it doesn't move, because it's annoying. The Marines start evacuating the world nobles while some of the people hope to use the chaos to escape. The Roger pirates, meanwhile, are desperately looking for Shaki, while Rox's concern is for Teach and his wife, Eris. Garp, of course, has his sights set on Roger, and during all of that chaos, Dragon tries to find a Marine ship to board with Shanks and Shamrock while hiding his face. He sees some pirates heading his way, but before he can react, he gets shot in the shoulder by one of the Knights of God, Saint Mafe of the Satchels family. And also we got a name of a whole family now, Satchels. So that only leaves how many left that are unnamed? 7, 6? It was 8 last time, but now I think it's like 7. It turns out Mafe was sent by someone who was tasked with watching over Garling's children, and she picks up Shamrock, who Dragon dropped, while Shanks ends up getting hidden. As Mafe pondered how someone like Garling could ever have children, she changed her tune to kill Dragon, unaware of who he was. Though Dragon didn't want Mafe to take the children, as he wanted to atone for partaking in this atrocity, he ultimately accepted his fate. Before Mafe could finish Dragon off, she ends up getting cut in half by Newgate, which inadvertently saves Dragon. He watches as Newgate, Linlin, Shiki, and Kaido charge forward until they are surrounded by other pirates hoping to take them down in order to become famous. As expected, they were no match for the four of them, who easily blew them all aside. Dragon tries to slip away, but he notices Shanks on the ground, having passed out after hitting his head. Garp then shows up and starts attacking the four of them, who attempts to flee while Dragon is surprised to see his father there. People once brought up the very notion of like, oh, Dragon is not Garp's son. Well, he just straight up says dad. Now, mind you, you got a lot of people in One Piece that says like, dad, but some of are adoptive and whatnot. But come on, Dragon is Garp's son. This isn't like an adopted son, but it's his son. Who attempts to flee while Dragon is surprised to see his father here. Linlin does try to keep Garp at bay using her homies, but he is unfazed. All the while, Mafe leaves with Shamrock thinking Dragon had died, while Dragon assured Shanks that if he can't save his brother, he can save him at least. Elsewhere, though many tried to flee, the knight from the Manmayer family started killing them for her amusement. The Marines learned that with the Rocks pirates coming from the south and the Roger pirates coming from the northwest, they will be blocked in soon. Salmers orders the Marines to escort Shaki off the island as he knows they came for her, but he is informed by a soldier that Shaki defeated all of the Marines guarding her, even while handcuffed. She got them legs. Shaki notices the commotion outside, and an irritated Salmers says he hates women who know how valuable they are. So, let me just say this about Salmers. Salmers is the type of individual who is absolutely disgusted when people have self-worth, who know their own sense of worth. He can't stand people who are okay, who knows how valuable they are. If you look at yourself as next to nothing, that appeases him, that pleases him. But if you know just how strong you are, how powerful you are, how influential you are, that's an annoyance to him. He especially hates women, so he hates women who know how valuable they are. So merely being a woman like that is enough to upset him. Let's see. Shaki notices commotion outside, and an irritated Salmers says he hates women who know how valuable they are, preferring they be naive. He slaps Shaki, but she turns herself around and kicks Salmers in the arm. But he then grabs her leg and strikes her thigh, knocking her to the ground, drawing blood. Yo, break next week too? There is a break? Did they change? Because it says that there wasn't a break. It says next chapter in 7 days. If it is on break, okay, that's fine. I get it. Because I also believe that the anime. You said no break next week. You said no break. You said yo by mistake. Eneru and Salmers would get along great. Yeah. But let me continue on here. Salmers admits that Shaki is such a catch that all these pirates ruin their fun event. Fun. Let's murder all the inhabitants on this place. This is fun for us. But he also admits that if they hadn't shown up, Garling would have won her, so he decides to just kill her so no one can have her. He begins to gush at the thought of all the pirates who came to rescue her, falling into despair when they see her mangled corpse after he's done with her. All the while, the various pirates continue to get in each other's way while trying to find her. As Roger gets into a fight with Newgate, he sends Rayleigh along to locate her, but as he hears them, Salmers claims it will be too late for he will already be done with her. One of the Marines tries to tell Salmers that Garling will be furious with him over what he will do, but Salmers simply says the Marines can call it an accident. At that point, Shaki begins to despair as Salmers proclaims that no hero is going to swipe in and rescue her like in a fairy tale, for he will kill them too if they try. You thought! As he raises his weapon, he tells Shaki he'll kill her in 5 blows, so she better savor the pain of each one. But just as he's about to begin, Rayleigh comes in and blows Salmers away. Rayleigh offers his hand to Shaki and tells her he came for her, and she sobs into his arms, saying how relieved she is he came, and how scared she was. As Rayleigh promises to never let her go through this ordeal again, Roger and Gavin, who are crying their eyes out of joy and jealousy, tell Rayleigh to save the reunion for later, and Roger announces they have retrieved Shocky, and now all they have to do is snag some treasure and flee the island. So, quick notes. While the world nobles are being escorted from God Valley, Roger is looking for Shocky. Is Monkey D family name immune to fire because Garp tanked it in this chapter, Luffy tanked the Kaido Blaster in the Onigashima fight? Is there a connection with fire and Monkey D? Luffy has Red Hawk too. Well, he did amount it to his guts. You can't burn me because of my guts. So, guts are really strong in the Monkey D family. It allows you to ignore things that would normally kill a normal human being. While the world nobles are being escorted from God Valley, Roger is looking for Shocky. Garp is looking for Roger, and Rox is desperately searching for Teach and Eris. Dragon tries to flee with Shanks and Shamrock, but is intercepted and injured by Saint Satchel's Mafe of the Knights of God, who was sent to reclaim Garling's son. They don't know that Garling has more than one child. Interesting. Shanks is knocked unconscious and hidden, thus Mafe only finds Shamrock, unaware of his twin brother's existence. Mafe prepares to kill Dragon, but is bisected by a random attack from Whitebeard. Now, at this time, we don't know if Mafe has been granting immortality that we see Somers and the rest of the God Knights have right now. If she was, interesting. If not, also interesting. Don't you hate it when an eyelash really... Okay, ow. Good lord. That thing was stabbing in my eye like it was a dagger or something. I hate long eyelashes. Why do I have such long eyelashes? Sorry. That really panel at the end of saying Shocky, then giving his hand to Shocky, looks like the Whitebeard panel of Be My Son. In Rayleigh's case, it's literally Be My Wife. Let me see. Mafe prepares to kill Dragon, but is bisected by a random attack from Whitebeard. Dragon continues to escape with Shanks, while Whitebeard and Lin, who meet up with Kaido and Shiki, as they are ambushed by hostile pirates trying to claim the prizes on their head. That and dust, very irritating. Dust when I wake up in the morning, and mind you, I keep my room pretty much clean. But it's when I'm working in a place that has a lot of dust, and I'm just sneezing over and over again, and then my nose starts to get all stuffy, and it's just annoying because I like to breathe in fine. But I can't stand it. Eyelashes in the eye. Oh wait, dust as well. Also, y'all ever had those moments where you get like this very thin piece of thread? Like it's so thin that it's very see-through, but it's on your eye, and you can't get it out, but you feel it there. But it's not hurting your eye, but it just irritates it, and then you try to take the whole thing out, and then when you do, your eye feels normal again. I can't stand those more than eyelashes. Dragon continues to escape with Shanks, while Whitebeard and Lin, who meet up with Kaido and Shiki, as they are ambushed by hostile pirates trying to claim the prizes on their heads. And it did not go well. Whitebeard, Lin, Kaido, and Shiki take out their attackers as a rattled Mafe flees with Shamrock. Garp finds and attacks Whitebeard, Lin, Kaido, and Shiki, who flee despite Kaido's objections. Lin summons Zeus and Prometheus and attacks Garp with Heavenly Fire Blitz, who shrugs it off. The Marines are being overwhelmed by the attacking pirates, who are eager to save Shaki. John is shown utilizing a mechanical right arm similar to Eustace Kid's usage of the Jiki no Mi. So you guys are not the only ones who think that he could possibly have the Jiki no Mi at this time. It's possible. Possible. We don't know for sure. Shaki has subdued all the Marines trying to relocate her, causing Somers to confront her. Somers plans to brutally murder Shaki to deny both Garling and the pirates their prize. While Roger is occupied with fighting Whitebeard, he tells Rayleigh to save her instead. Just as Somers prepares to kill Shaki, Rayleigh attacks him and sends him flying with Red Spider Lily. Did I mispronounce the name of the attack he used on Somers? It says Spider Lily Steel here, but the attack The other name for it is called red spider lily. Interesting. After Shaki is rescued, the Roger pirates prepare to escape God Valley. So, and then we have an author's comment. I thought that horse meat sashimi was the way to go, but I went to a place with delicious grilled horse meat. It was so good. People out here eating horse? People out here eating horse? Oda, you out here eating horse? You out here eating horse? I'm sorry. That just kind of broke my brain just a little bit. Also, yeah, the OP anime, the One Piece anime is having a break, but 2 weeks. It will be back on October 19th. See, I knew we were having a break with the anime because the preview for the next one, if it moves, it's food. Tell that to someone. Okay, if it moves, it's food. I want you to say that looking at a stonefish. I want you to say that looking at a pufferfish and eating fugu. All right? I want you to say that looking at a dragonfish. I want you to say that and you're looking at a diamondback. I want you to say that and you're looking at a black mamba or a water moccasin. If it moves, it's food. Not everything, but yeah, I know the anime is going on break, but I didn't realize it was going to be for 2 weeks. So after I react to today's episode, well, I'll be able to take a break for 2 weeks from the anime. Okay, so that must mean next week is a break, but after that week will be a recap episode. Huh. Well, they do know how to cook them though. That's true. Doesn't mean you should be eating it though. They were trying to tell Kaido, kid, you don't want none of that. If you think that rocks will smack you around, then you don't know Garp. Run, you young fool. So yeah, I know the anime is going on break because it's like a Dr. Chopper special episode, but I didn't realize it was going to have another break after that. So that gives me a little bit of a break for these upcoming Sundays. So I'm perfectly fine with that. But this chapter, and I'm going to keep what I really want to say fully. I want to keep what I want to say fully until the One Piece reflections we have on Tuesday. And I was thinking about playing Borderlands on Tuesday, but that'll just have to wait until Friday. Because Wednesday's my off day, Thursday is Hunter x Hunter. But there's a lot of things that I want to talk about with all of these chapters that we've been getting. But I have to say that out of all the things that they're doing for this flashback, Oda keeps cooking in his flashback nonstop. Here's my thing. Okay, so we need to go back in time. I'm going to keep it short. Cool, save it for Tuesday. All right, I'm not going to say too much, but let me say this. We started this story with our main character being in a barrel. Him having a stretchy body. And him always proclaiming he wants to be the king of the pirates. Fast forward 20-something years later. And we are witnessing gods, demons, primordial beings that are capable of turning people with eldritch powers, deciding the very fate of while the world itself is sinking into the sea bit by bit over time. This is where we're at with one. We started in a barrel, and now we're continuing with the literal ruler of the world enacting their plan to subjugate an entire giant race using powers that you would see, biblical powers, turning giants into demons that follow their very command, summoning things out of eldritch circles as if it was a Doom game. This is where we are at now. Imagine telling yourself years ago when you first started One Piece that it was going to end up in this world. And now we're looking at one of the best flashbacks of One Piece, by the way. Now we're looking at these flashbacks, witnessing these incredibly powerful individuals. The only thing we're missing are aliens. Yeah, we got the Moon Men that Enodu is up there chilling with. It's crazy how much the story has changed and how much it's actually been expanded over the years of us reading One Piece and over the years of me covering One Piece. Because when I started in Whole Cake Island and then went back years later and read through the rest of the entire series with all those volumes I got, I never thought that we would end up seeing eldritch beings of darkness, literally being able to grant immortality to people. That is perfect immortality that only Conqueror's Haki can negate. The ability to regenerate at high speeds. Immortal people. The ability to turn a person into a giant demon version of themselves with greater strength, completely subservient to a person. Witnessing Conqueror's Haki that is hitherto unseen in different examples. And seeing literal gods who are capable of just warping reality to their making whatever they want to do, or warping themselves with whatever they want to do. Who would have thought we would be here in the world of One Piece? And the thing is, it's not getting old. It doesn't come off as cliche. Oh, this powerful godlike being, and now we're gonna beat him, and then the sun will shine again. This isn't like Madara versus the fourth in the fourth Great Ninja War, where he becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki and is threatening to imprison everyone in Project Tsukinome. And it's just like this. There is so much going on in One Piece that doesn't even feel like it's overbloated. It's overdone. It's either moving too slow. I think the last time we had a slow moving moment was Vegapunk counting down to when he was going to tell his message to the world. And they said that All for One was an ultimate villain. Now, let me say this. I'm not going to downplay All for One, because in his world, he truly was. But we're dealing with an individual, as the final boss, we're dealing with an individual who has been alive for centuries. Essentially is pretty much immortal. It's pretty much immortal. That's crazy. One person has immortality granted, possibly claimed it's reference to, granted pure immortality by a previous user of the Up fruit, just the eternal youth surgery. So they're truly immortal. But all the other people who were granted immortality was a result of either some eldritch power or devil fruit power. We don't know. I'll save everything that I want to save until Tuesday, because food is here, and I want to go ahead and end it here and then eat my food, and then we'll move on to Sakamoto Days. But what I have to say is that I am so incredibly happy to be reading One Piece right now, and I cannot wait to see what the next chapter is going to bring for us next week. Why are you watching this if you're still in Fishman Island? Raybell, please! Please! Please, please. I'm not going to say anything else. Please, just catch up. Take your time. Take your pace. Meet up with us when you fully catch up. But please, please, please catch up and read through the rest. Or watch the rest if you're just using the anime. I won't say any more. But yes. I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even check out my Patreon, which is up now, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you, and because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Time to eat, and then on to Sakamoto Days.